Hi ladies and gentlemen, this is Adrian Sanso-Ali and I have a new toy to show you. New toy to play with. This is the Xvive U7 saxophone and trumpet wireless system. Yes, we're going to open it very quickly and show you what's inside to start off with, and then I'm going to tell you some tips and some my honest opinion about this product. You see the back there. Lots of pretty pictures on the back and explanations of what it is and what it does. Now, the first thing, when I received this, the first thing that came to my head was how much it looks similar to the NUX-B6. So I do have a NUX-B6, but not here, unfortunately. It's in Spain. I'm in America now, where I spend half of the year. So I do have one, I'm very familiar with it, and you've probably seen videos. If you're looking for a microphone to buy for your saxophone, you've probably seen videos of the NUX-B6, you may even have one. So I'm going to be comparing this primarily with the NUX-B6 because it looks very similar. You see it comes in the same kind of a box, zip-up box. Has a very similar kind of a receiver, high technology, small receiver. That's the transmitter. You get the way that the microphone connects to the transmitter is very, very similar to the NUX-B6 as well. So it just plugs in here like this and plug it in and screw it on. It's very strong connection once it's on. And then as well, you have here the clip that actually clips on to your saxophone. We'll be talking more about this in a minute. This goes on here like this. Just push it up and there we go. So that's basically the microphone with the transmitter connected, the receiver, and then what else comes in the package is one of these cables, a double USB cable to charge it. These are they're not battery powered, they're rechargeable with USB-C, which is great. There's the little, if you come closer and have a look, that's the little USB charger hole right there. And there's a USB plug right there. I don't know what the deal is with the blue band around it. I would prefer it not to have that. It doesn't really seem to be a brand thing either because there's no blue brand around here. And that's no blue band here. So that's something that I don't really like about it. It doesn't look very pretty. But this is not the bit that the audience will be looking at. The audience will be seeing this primarily. We have a couple of papers that come with it, of course, like usual. The warranty card. The instruction book, which I haven't read the instruction book, but I've looked through it so far, and it seems to be actually understandable because some of these instruction books from Chinese companies are very hard to understand even in English because they're badly translated. This seems to be okay. As I said, I haven't read it yet though. And then it comes with a advertisement of its different products. And this is interesting because they're like stickers. This comes in 6 different channels. This has 6 different channels, and you got stickers here. So I guess a sound man who has maybe a big band with 6 saxophonists in, they can all be using this, and you can put a sticker on each one saying what channel each one's using. So that's something quite interesting. Another interesting thing here is it comes with not only a spare one of these, and believe me, I've had problems in the past looking for spare ones of these for my various saxophone microphones I've had, and so it's great that it comes with a spare, and it even comes with a wind one especially for the wind. Be careful when you put it on though, because I've already broke it as I tried to put it on. Broke the elastic inside, so that's no good now. I'll fix it some way because it might be useful as I'm about to explain. So let's get explaining about some of this stuff. I have, when I do these kind of reviews, the first thing I like to do is compare it with what I consider the best one on the market until now, and that's this. This is the American microphone technology AMT Q7 Mini system. Now this is already very old. Maybe about 20 years ago, this right here was the best microphone on the market that was ever available for a saxophone. And I still use it to this very day because I love the way it sounds. And this is my normal saxophone microphone. You can see the receiver right here. Now, I've been a professional saxophonist for 20 years now. I've been a full-time professional saxophonist for 20 years and just a part-time saxophonist for my entire life. So I've seen trends come and go. I've seen different music gadgets come and go. This, when it first came out, was amazing. This is already like 15 years old at least. This was amazing because it was so small, this receiver. Now look at this, how small this receiver is. So this is much more modern technology. And even this is still not as small as it actually could be. Just hold a second, because to talk right now, I'm using this microphone, which is from Hollyland, and it comes with a receiver that's this big, and it's super light. That's incredible. So you see already this is much more bigger and heavier than this. And this, of course, is huge compared to this. So you see how the technology improves over time. This is like the very, very latest technology, and it really is, it's absolutely awesome. So, what I want to show you next is, you probably are aware then that this, if you have a NUX or you've seen the very popular NUX system, this is very similar to it. But the NUX system doesn't have this that goes on it like this. It has a built-in clip, and it clips on awesomely. Let me show you this one. This is my baby saxophone that I'm using to show you how this goes on there, right? This is my AMT. The problem with this, as well as it was awesome when it first came out, but now, for example, it's getting old. This is beginning to wobble. When I'm playing around on the stage, this starts wobbling, it starts moving like this, it starts going to the side a little bit. The clip isn't that strong, isn't that sturdy. Now, last year, I reviewed this microphone, Kimafun. The fun microphone from Kimafun. Now, this is very, very practical as well. And what I liked the most about this was the clip. Very, very strong and sturdy, and also easy to put on and off, just like that. By the way, what I don't like about this is the sound. The sound is really not good enough for my tastes to use. What the Kimafun does, while I'm here, I'll just go on a quick side thing about this microphone. What it does is it compresses the sound. It has like a built-in compressor that you can't take off. And that it compresses the sound so much that it makes it just, to me, it sounds ugly in the end. Now, some people like really kind of aggressive, rough sound on their saxophone. For example, if you're following saxophonists on YouTube, you've probably seen Daniele Vitale, for example, who walks around the streets playing the saxophone to people. Now, he has a very, very rough kind of aggressive sound, and some people like that. If you have that kind of sound, maybe you'll like this. But I go for a much more subtle, much more, what's the word, smooth. I like the smooth sound. And I like my microphone to sound like the saxophone sounds, to pick up the saxophone sound as it's supposed to be. So I can't recommend the Kimafun for that. There's no way it's as good as the sound of my AMT. Now, with the NUX-B6, what I was very, very impressed with was the sound. The sound of the NUX-B6 is almost as good as this. And so it passes the test for me to be used on the stage in big concerts and everything great. And as well, it doesn't move when it clips on because it has a very great clipping system. But the NUX-B6 has a serious flaw, and the serious flaw is the sound of the keys. When you're playing the saxophone, it picks up the vibration of the keys too much. So much so that I can't use it as my primary. I use it still as my emergency microphone, but it still hasn't beaten the AMT because of that. I'm crazy about sound. To me, it has to sound the best. Sound is the primary thing. It's a microphone after all. Now, what I am impressed with the statistics on this, not the statistics, what do you call it? The specifications on this U7, Xvive U7, is that it actually says it has a frequency response of 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz. Now that is incredibly impressive for such a tiny microphone. 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz is basically the whole frequency of human hearing. So it means any sound that a human can hear can be picked up by this microphone. It means it's good for any instrument, not just a saxophone. Now, of course, I would be interested to see an actual, see the equalization. What's the natural equalization of the microphone? I don't have access to that information at the moment, nor have I made anything like it to see. But after all, what's most important is the sound. How does it sound? Now, I'm not going to do an actual sound test now for two reasons. Firstly, I don't have my studio here. I'm in Spain. And secondly, even if I did, you'll probably be watching this video on your smartphone. And there's no way that somebody can say, listen how this microphone sounds, and they put it on your smartphone. You can't really tell the difference between one microphone and another properly if you're just listening on a smartphone or even little computer speakers in your house or on your laptop or wherever you're watching this. So for me to listen to the difference between one microphone and another, I have to actually be there in person and listen. Now, I did do, back in my studio in Spain, a direct comparison in my own studio of the AMT and the NUX-B6 and the Kimafun microphone. And I was very impressed with the NUX-B6 because it sounded almost the same as my AMT, which means it's perfectly good for me to use on the stage. And of course, the technology is much better. It's like this technology of the Xvive. So I'm very excited to see how this actually sounds in public, and I will be playing it in public in my public performances from now on for a few times until I know exactly how the system works and how good it is. And I will put in my notes underneath, in the comments underneath this video, I'll give an update and I'll say whether it passed the sound test or it didn't. If it passed the sound test, it means the sound is similar to my cherished AMT microphone, which, by the way, originally used to cost over $1,000. This cost around $200. So technology now is getting better and better, and it's getting cheaper and cheaper. In my time, years and years ago, back when I started out, it was very difficult to get good quality equipment. And nowadays, it's very, very cheap to get equipment. Anybody can have good quality equipment. Righty, what else can I say? This. A couple of practical tips. If you want to charge your machines up fast, don't use this, because if this plugs into one of those little wall warts, it'll have to divide the power between this, and they'll power up, they'll charge up only half as fast. Now the box says it lasts 5 hours, which is great for one concert. It's perfectly, I play, for example, 2 hours maximum in my concerts. And so that's plenty. That's a safe, you got a safe buffer there. That's wonderful. But you have to remember to charge it between each concert, between each performance. If you perform every day, like I often do, then you have to remember to charge this, because if you don't, you're in trouble. This may be old technology, but if I run out of battery, I can just open this up and put a new battery in. What happens if you run out of battery on the stage with one of these super modern rechargeable things? You can't just change the battery. You have to charge it, and that takes time. So no concert, no sound. That's something to be aware of. That's one practical thing. I would use 2 wall warts to charge 2 things, and it'll charge faster. Some people may think that this system of having to put this on is much worse than the NUX system that has 2 little buttons there and hook on very easily. But I'll tell you something. The NUX system doesn't work because of the vibrations, right? This is the wrong way around. This clips on very easily. It's soft but strong. Doesn't move at all. This moves because it's not screwed in properly. But this, I don't know if you can see that, wobble, 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 doesn't move. So I like this better than the NUX thing, because probably even if it does catch some of the sound from your key movements, it won't catch nothing as much as the NUX. That's what I'm thinking just by looking at this. Of course, we have to try it, and I will, and I'll put an update underneath about the sound and about the key movements and also about the wind. And as I said, this is a great thing, because the other weakness of the NUX microphone is the wind. If you go, you'll hear, that doesn't happen with my AMT. And with this on here, I'm sure it won't happen with this. So that's good. And another thing it definitely has better than the NUX is it has 6 different channels. 6 channels, which are easy to change. If I switch it on, you'll see that you just have to, if you get close here, you'll see, I just press the button. Each time I press the button, it changes channel like this. And the same here, hold the button to switch it on. Just press the channel numbers like this. Each time you press, it changes channel. All you have to do is make sure the 2 channels are the same. And let me show you here. Watch when the 2 channels are the same number. This light comes on. That light means that it's connected, right? How does this go into the mixer board? Very easily, this new system, like that. Now, it's not very practical if you have a lid that you want to close on it, like I do. Then you can't really keep that in there. Ideally, I'd like to keep that in there. So if, for example, I put it in this system, what I would do, take this out, and then just have a little one of these cables here, 90-degree XLR cable, and have this there, maybe stuck on with a bit of Velcro or something. And on that note as well, to not have to keep charging this, the ideal for me would be, if this is permanently plugged into your little mixer board, it would be just to keep this in. Now, some of these machines, if you have it charging, it doesn't actually work. It doesn't function and charge at the same time. Now, if you see here, this red light has come on saying that it's charging, and the other light comes on saying that it's connected to that. So it's charging and it's connected at the same time. Now, that's a great sign that it probably can do both at the same time, if you see the lights on for both things. So, for example, in my case, if this was my permanent microphone, I'd have this in my mixer board. I'd have a USB, obviously I'd have it down like this with another cable there and a USB permanently plugged in. So I don't have to remember to charge this. It'll be just always charged. I just have to remember to charge this after each booking. So, after all that rambling on, I'm very, very excited to use this on the stage. And I'm also very excited because it might actually be finally a replacement for the AMT. Now, one thing again that I have against AMT is this system has existed, as I say, for at least 15 years, and they've never upgraded it. They've never, much more greater technology exists now for connection. This is 2.4 gigahertz connection, which most of these little things are, including my little microphone here I'm speaking into. This is old technology. Old technology gets interferences, all kinds of stuff. I've never had any interference problems with 2.4 gigahertz technology. And if you do, you have the 6 different channels, and that's great. That is really great. This is a bit heavy for my taste, but it also means it's strong as well. So if you have one of those mixers where you plug it into the back and it starts falling down out of heaviness, it'll break the mixer before it'll break this. But anyway, that's very, very strong, heavy. The other end is plastic. So all in all, I am honestly, and this is my honest review, I did receive this free. And by the way, any of you manufacturers, if you want a totally honest, matter-of-fact, no bullcrap review of your products, send me your products. Hey. So I've got this product, and this is my honest review of it. At first I thought, oh, it's just another B6. It's a NUX-B6. But no, it looks like it's solved the problems of the NUX-B6. The key jangling problem, you know, the key vibration problem, and the wind problem. And if that's true, oh, and it has 6 channels. By the way, the NUX-B6, it has 3 different settings that give you different different equalizations for alto or soprano or tenor, but I haven't found that to be very useful. I just use it on the same setting. I haven't really found any use out of that. Right, there's one thing I forgot to mention, and that's, we all know that the Xvive box looks like the NUX-B6 box, but the NUX-B6 box is actually a charging box, charging case. It has a little plug here for the USB to plug into, and so when you put the pieces in, it actually charges up automatically, right? That's as long as the connections are made carefully, and you have to be careful of that. However, you may think, oh, so this doesn't do that. It's not a charging case. It's just a normal case, right? Normal carrying case. But that's not really a problem in my case. No pun intended. You know why? Because I'm not going to use, even with the NUX-B6, obviously, I'm not going to use this to charge up the thingy. You know why? Because I can't be bothered to take the microphone down into pieces every time, take this off, and then take this off, and put each piece in there nicely. No, that's messing around. Let me show you one thing. Kimafun may not be the best microphone, but it comes complete. You don't have to set it up. You just pull it out the case and it's already ready to use. If I end up using this microphone as my main microphone, the Xvive U7, then what I'm going to probably end up doing is ripping out all the interior, ripping all this out, and just using it empty box and put the whole thing in whole. So you don't have to take it all to pieces, along with the charging cable and a little plug to plug in the wall. That's what I'll likely do. This will likely stay in there, as I said before, plugged in with my USB, charging all the time, so I don't have to worry about it. So that's the thing. You got to think practically. Imagine you go into a dance club in the night time, hell of a load of noise. You can't hear a word you're saying to yourself. The DJ's at the corner in his DJ booth with all his junk all around him on the floor everywhere. And you have to go there, open your sax case, get your sax up, put the reed on, put the mouthpiece on, everything else. And then you have to open this, get the little piece out, put this little piece on, and then the other little piece on the back and all this. And you can't even see because of all the disco lights flashing everywhere. That's not practical, trust me. What you want is this or some other case, you know, Tupperware container, anything, somewhere where you can put the whole mic in. You put the whole mic in, you keep it. Once it's set up, you should never need to take it off, to take this off or take this off. Why? Just take it out the box, plug that in, you know, charge it up, and that's it. Keep that in there, and that's it. That's what you need to do. So that's why it doesn't bother me that this is not a charging case. To me, it's a great box for presentation. You open it and you see all the little pieces in it, all nice and pretty. So for giving it to somebody as a gift, Christmas present, it's great protection if you want to send it by post to another country, etc., etc. But as a gig bag, it's not practical because, as I said, you don't want to have to keep taking this apart and put it back together again. There's no need. Just keep it set up already. That's my thoughts. Just one little thing as well. I was talking about the possibility that this, it looks like, because of this, it looks like it's going to get a lot less, have a lot less problems. This is soft here, and yet the thing itself is very strong. I love this. I love it. So that can eliminate a lot of the key vibrations. And also, watch this, I didn't mention either. This is like rubber, just boing, doing, 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 doing. So that can possibly eliminate a lot of the key vibrations too. So I'm looking forward to hearing this. And as I said, I'll leave a comment below with an update on whether it actually passed the sound test, because that's the primary thing. I'll let you know if it passed the sound test. The sound test, if it passes the sound test, it means it sounds more or less as good as the AMT Q7 Mini, which is this set is my my official favorite sax microphone of all. So the big thing is this going to replace it? It might do, and I'll let you know in the comments if it does. And I'll put a comment about the key vibration and the wind if it has solved the problem that NUX wasn't able to solve. Okay, have a nice day. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you want to hear some good saxophone music. Listen to my channel if you want to hear an idea of how my saxophone sounds with this. There's a lot of live performances on my YouTube channel, so if you listen to some of my live performances, all of them are recorded with this. Please press like on the video, because if this has been useful to you in any way, it's free to press like on the video. So please do that, and come and get this Xvive U7 saxophone and trumpet. I might leave a link to buy it in the bottom in my notes. So have a look if I did or not, and if I did, then it'll be nice if you use the link to buy the product. Thank you very much and have a nice day.